everyone. I'm Julie.
And I'm Jenny with a G. We're cousins and best friends
who live on opposite ends of the country, so we decided to start a podcast. Welcome to Get Funny.
Like, what are we doing? Also, hello. Welcome back, listeners.
Hi. Listeners, we've missed you. Not that much.
We have.
Oh, no, we're not crazy, but we did miss you.
What I have missed is you, Jenny. I have missed doing this little, having our little key every once in a while. But the thing that I'm just remembering, I can't talk. Listeners, I am hungover, except not in the, bad hangover way. I don't have a headache. I don't have any of that, which is great. Trust me, I have, unfortunately, those hangovers are very common. I just feel, run down, and, my voice is kind of, scratchy. So I'm not doing great, but I'm caffeinating. I'm doing fine in that regard. What I wanted to say was, as I was preparing this platform for our recording, I was like, oh, Jenny and I were supposed to talk about the future of our podcast during our hiatus.
We were.
Do you remember?
I remember now.
So we were, y'all, we had plans. We were gonna I don't know why I'm surprised that we didn't do it. I'm not. Let's be real. I'm not surprised, but it is very funny.
This is news to me.
I'm like, wait, did we? I guess we didn't really talk about it. So I guess we're just gonna do what we normally do today, and then basically, you should always expect the unexpected. That's what I always say. And in regards to our podcast, you should expect perhaps that we will change things, flip it up as it were, in the future. I haven't said flip it up in a long time.
You have it. And
I almost said it in a professional setting the other day, and I had to I heard it coming out of my mouth, and I had to actually pause and stop and take a beat, because I knew that's what I wanted to say, but I was like, no, what do normal people say? Be normal.
Professional. The tables will turn as they do. So
sure.
I guess, we really didn't talk about that. And we saw each other during this break. We spent time together. And we didn't mention nothing.
We didn't.
Maybe we need to eat more carrots to have a better memory. I think they're helpful for memory. I'm not too sure.
Are they?
I don't know. I'm no scientist. I can't say that word, so I get caught up.
You can't say why?
I don't know. I just be struggling through it.
Ginkgo biloba.
Ginkgo biloba.
I think that's how you say it. I don't know. That's how they used to say it on those commercials back in the day when they had commercials for Ginkgo biloba.
When they had commercials that were actual
that I watched.
Cool. But also, can we talk about briefly the J.Lo and Ben Affleck commercial was actually really funny to me.
Oh yeah, Super Bowl. We didn't. That's the other thing. I feel like the past few years we've had an episode shortly after the Super Bowl, and we always talk about the commercials. But this year we didn't, so we're going to talk about it today. That
all
commercial,
the things we've missed.
I will say I liked it. I know some people thought it was cringe or whatever, but I actually really enjoyed that Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
That's funny. Here's
the Dun Kings.
The Dun Kings. I mean, Ben got Maddie Boy to come make an appearance. J.Lo has all the Latinos she could find. Now, Fat Joe is literally on, what's that word that you use when you're going to get a paycheck every time from Jennifer? On retainer. She got Fat Joseph on retainer, honey.
Fat Joseph.
She got Fat Joseph on this retainer. I swore. So I'm the only person who I think watched and liked J.Lo's visual album, This Is Me.
Oh. Yeah, give us this is the special J.Lo segment of the podcast as our correspondent. I haven't watched it, but I did listen to a podcast just this past week where they talked about it, and it was actually really good because
I got a favorite people.
They weren't shitting on it or anything, and one of the girls talking about it is also a New Yorican, and they were talking really deeply about J.Lo's love addictions and how they in certain parts of one of the important things they said was J.Lo keeps saying this is her most personal project yet or whatever. And whenever she does that, you expect a certain, or whenever any artist does that, you expect a certain level of vulnerability, but either J.Lo is incapable of getting there, or she really doesn't have much to say, which is like curious about your thoughts there.
So here's the thing. I am a true J.Lo support. I'm supporting J.Lo through it all. Okay, she's like a lot of my friends who be doing some dumb shit, and I'm still there. That's who J.Lo is. J.Lo is a friend. Okay, I'm not a fan. I am a friend. J.Lo does have a love addiction. I think she knows this. This is the first time she's actually acknowledging it. And I'll go back to, because a lot of people who are hating on it on TikTok, they're like, this was a terrible film. It's a terrible film. It's not a film, y'all. It's a visual album. Like, she is telling the story of the album, and it works. And let me tell you, too, the surprises. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, shame on you, because I went through the whole movie. And I had my comments.
I am following you, but I did not see that. But it's good because now your comments can be surprising to me.
It was the best. But when it starts, you're like, what is happening? She is going through the album, and the world is her heart. And the heart is going to stop working because there are no more flowers in production. So flowers.
I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that's how the heart works.
I know.
I'm not a cardiologist.
She's the only one who can fix it, and she's running through it, trying to get that one last pedal into the heart so that the love can be there. Then it cuts from there and goes to a glass house. And in the glass house, she's with a man who is giving us enough part 2. And I was like, what the hell? And then, all of this is based on signs and astrological signs.
Yeah.
So she says, oh my God, another Libra. And I'm like, who's the Libra? So I went through I was like, it must be who she's talking about, Mark Anthony, but Mark Anthony's a Virgo. So it can't be Mark Anthony. But when I tell you this moment in the film, I stepped back and I said, J.Lo had an abusive relationship. That makes sense, y'all. Because she's been looking for love, but she's not been finding a right one. So she is hurt and damaged. And the movie lets you follow that. And then
does it though?
It does. It does.
I heard about this Libra thing. I heard about like damn, she's really coming for Libras. But then in the podcast I listened to where they recapped it, they were like, of course they did the work and went through her exes, and they were like, did she date any Libras? And they're like, no.
She hasn't.
So they think the theory is that she didn't want to like target any of her actual exes and like make it so clear who she was talking about. So she just used Libra as like a stand-in, which sucks to be a Libra because she was coming for you. But she was just like, at least, you know what? I appreciate that she didn't go after Geminis because
and I think
we are unfairly maligned.
I think the other thing is that Libra also represented a lot of the issues that she's had with a lot of them. So I don't think it was just one singular person. It was multiple ones. But I thought it was really good. I do think this right. Like she touches it, but she doesn't get that. Because the thing is, to be vulnerable, and we might see this in the second installment of the J.Lo Prime Video agreement. She has a documentary coming out the 27th, which is in 2 days.
Oh, that's very soon, yeah.
And we will get to see the nitty gritty behind the scenes of her directing, acting, financing this project. So it's possible we'll see a little bit more. Here's the thing. I do not think this is the end. She says this is her last album. I don't think so. I think J.Lo has a lot of heartbreak coming. And I'm going to give her and Ben about 4 more years. That's what I'm giving.
That's what I'm giving. That's a long time.
I know. But the thing about J.Lo in her era, she gets bored easily. Don't even tell me she doesn't. She needs to have a new wedding all the time. So I don't know how many more wedding movies we're going to get from her if they're not based on true life events. I love her. I'm so proud of her. The film was great. I thought it was nicely done. And that lost song, Greatest Love Story Never Told, phenomenal.
So is she doing in the movie? Are there musical like numbers or performances?
Yes. So each song has a different take. So like the first song had the whole heart thing. Then there's a song where she's giving homage to the great films of music videos of the past of people dancing in the rain. She has one where she's talking to herself as as her as an adult talking to herself as a child. So each scene is different. It doesn't actually flow like a regular movie, besides having Fat Joseph as the therapist that moves through the scene. But that is what he's doing in this. He's not giving us Fat Joe. He's giving us a proper Fat Joseph. And I applaud.
Plump Joseph.
Yes, and Ben actually makes an appearance, which is really funny.
I saw.
And it's great.
I'll watch it. I do think that, because she's done like documentaries before. She has a memoir. Like, I don't know if she actually wants to go deep. Like, I think she wants to think of herself as a person who goes deep. But I don't think, like when some people are like, you can tell that they're scared to access that part of themselves, which is like, because that's where all the trauma is, obviously. And so she thinks she's going deep by like kind of examining this like love addiction part of her. But that's superficial deep. Like, you gotta go, like... You gotta go down to like the childhood, the parents, and I don't think
what's
she's
interesting,
there.
One of the songs she starts with, I used to see my mother not follow her dreams, all the sacrifices she gave up for me. And I was like, well, that's weird, J.Lo, because like, you became famous pretty fast, so she's kind of benefited off of that. Like, we're not talking about her mama working in factories up until like yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, it is interesting that her trauma and struggles, I think, are others instead of hers. So, for instance, she has a nibbling, her sibling's child.
Okay.
Who identifies as transgender. Right? That's her nibbling story, not hers. She don't help raise that child, so she ain't got it, right?
Right.
Case in point, there is rumors that her daughter, Emmy, goes by they, them. Again, not her story, right? Those children's story, which I think when they decide to get famous, both of them children are going to have stories to tell. Her sister was a journalist who I think also had to leave because, I don't know, I think she may have gotten fired or something. But again, not her story. So all the stuff that could be deep and traumatic, they're not really a J.Lo start story. All she got is these men. That's all she got. So that's all she's going to give us.
There was somebody, apparently, like, she maybe has talked about possibly being abused by her mom. Like, I mean, and that is sort of hinted at here as well.
Well, they didn't have a good relationship from my understanding. But I don't know. I don't know. Because if that is the past, at least the present from 4 years ago, she had a whole celebration for her mom, and she loves her mom, and she does a lot of big things for her mom.
You can love a person who mistreated you. Like, that is the, that is the being human part. Also, sorry, we've spent way too much time talking about J.Lo, and not enough time talking about Beyonce.
Okay, I was just about to say, yes. Hello, oh my God, they got to meet Beyonce and Miss Tina.
Yeah, when you were like, I haven't listened to the episode yet, I was like, I was trying not to like tell you, because in case you didn't know, but that episode, sorry y'all, we are talking about a podcast that we love, The Read. The hosts, like, they've been podcasting for 11 years, truly one of the like first most popular like pop culture Black podcasts, and they're amazing. They are both, as the article said, legendary Beehive members.
Yes.
They got to meet Beyonce at her hair care launch thing last week, and I was cool. Like, that's so amazing. Like, when I'm thinking about like my life as like a person who works in entertainment, which I do, in my wildest dreams, I truly never think about like, what would it be like if I met Beyonce? Like, I think I would, I can't.
There are no real words. First of all, when people say, you know how people don't like people and they'll say like, well, if I ever met them, I would do this. I'm like, you're never going to meet them. Like, with that energy, you're never going to meet them.
Yeah.
But like when I think about celebrities that I have met or I will meet, I feel like I'm the same person, like just in shock, like.
Right, like you
We're in the
literally
same
met
space.
Oprah.
Right.
Like
And-
you've...
And I literally said to her, I love you, Miss Winfrey. You mean everything to me. These are the words I was able to squeak out. And she goes, what's your name? It's Jenny. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And there's
Okay,
certain
that's
people-
crazy. Like if you were getting tongue tied around someone, I don't know if there's any hope for me, or my brain will shut down so much that I will pretend like I don't know who they are. Be like, oh, what did you say it was? Beyonce? Oh, hey girl. Nice to meet you.
And there's some people I may not ever meet because I don't ever want to meet. Because then, like, I don't
Right.
want to have, like, Beyonce, I
Yeah.
think, is one of those people, like,
I know. Yeah.
what
I
do
don't
you
think
say? Do you say Miss Knowles Carter? Or do you call her Beyonce? Like, we're friends? Like,
Do you call her Mrs. Beyonce?
I mean,
Madam?
you can't, like,
Your Honor? I probably call her Your Majesty.
right. Like, do you hug her? You can't hug her. So you only have to
No.
touch the hands. Like, do you touch her? Is it palm to palm? Are we talking?
I don't
Like,
think we're allowed to touch. I don't think we touch her.
I can't. This is
Not
too
with
ma-
not,
no.
not with these like
We have
commoner
oils.
hands.
Yeah,
No.
we have like random oils on us.
We
you
have like
can't.
outside. We have like commoner on us. She might catch the poor.
And what if like Blue Ivy's in the same room, right? And like
She
like
will not care.
she will look at us with her eyes like, "Who are you?"
She will judge us the way a Gen Alpha does judge.
Jeez, they're so
But
cool.
yeah, anyway, so Beyonce, the read, that isn't just what I was talking about, although that was a great collective experience for everyone who's fans of these people. The country
Yeah,
album, I'm so excited for. The
Oh my
two
God,
singles
so
are
good.
amazing. Like, I can't stop listening to them. And I'm just
This
so
ain't
here
Texas.
for the yeehaw
Ain't no
agenda.
older.
The beehaw agenda, as it were. I'm here. I'm here.
I'm here for all of it. And when I tell you, and those songs came out, I was like, "Well, this is it. This is what we were meant for." And
She's just feeding us. And, oh,
Yes.
man, I
And
love it. And I just love it.
Sacred purchase.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like, when you said you had
Purchased.
ordered. So Sacred is her hair care line that just dropped. When you said you ordered the bundle, that's when I thought you had listened to the podcast. So I was like, oh, maybe you already heard it.
No.
It's so funny.
It was just life. It should arrive on Tuesday, according to the fact that I use express shipping. I went nuts.
Oh
I
my
was
god!
like,
You paid for the express shipping,
yes.
girl. You are.
Funnily enough, too, it
Y'all,
says,
she's in her wealthy bitch era apparently. Because what in the world?
I mean, I want to try it.
You
I want
just
to try it
spent,
now.
$300.
Don't worry.
on
Why
hair
are we
care.
talking? Why are we putting numbers on things?
I mean,
I don't live my life like that.
who am I to say anything? I bought the Beyonce perfume, Saint Noir. Like, I literally
Yes.
paid
And
$200 for a perfume, so...
I almost bought it, but I haven't. I should have just spritzed it when I was at your house because I want to know how it smells.
Oh, yeah, you didn't do that. That was dumb of you.
You had it hidden. So why was it?
I didn't have it
Why
hidden.
wasn't it in the living room?
Why would I put it in the living room?
Because it's a Beyonce perfume. It should be
Oh, my
displayed.
God. We're back, and we watched a rom-com, a new rom-com, that we will try not to spoil because, as we said, it is a new rom-com. But just keep in mind that if you don't want to know anything about it, you should skip this part of the episode until after you watch the Netflix original film, Players, which came out Valentine's Day of this year.
Oh,
Happy
is that what
Valentine's
it
Day,
is?
by the way.
Happy Valentine's.
Very cute, very cute. So yeah, Players. So it stars Gina Rodriguez as
And Dane.
Mac.
Oh, yes.
Her name-
Mackenzie.
She goes by Mac. Mackenzie, but she prefers Mac. And Damon Wayans Jr. as Adam. And when I saw that, I was like, I don't think I've ever met a black person named Adam. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm sure it exists, but I was just like, Adam is not really a name that
No, sometimes I think names are just added at the end because the names are so random to me.
No, they're not.
Remember that?
The names are
Remember that?
added at the beginning of the script, and then they don't change them when they cast them, which is why we get Gina Rodriguez named Mackenzie.
Mac.
Yes, but
It was like
stop.
that show. Remember the show Crew or Wine Crew or the
Grand
Crew?
Crew.
Grand Crew.
Grand
And
Crew.
all of those names to me were bizarre for all of those characters. So I don't remember
I
them
missed
right
that
now.
show. I liked that
It was
show.
good. It was a good show.
It was.
Okay, here we go. So Adam and then Little. That's who I remember.
Little, yeah. Oh, so it's an ensemble friend group. But Gina Rodriguez and Damon Wayans Jr. are the leads, Mac and Adam, as I said. But the whole premise is that this group of friends, they run plays. It's kind of like, this whole movie is like, you remember How I Met Your Mother, Barney Stinson. He had did he call them plays? Like his playbook? Whatever. It's like,
yeah, whatever his book was. Yeah,
it's like running schemes on people to get them to sleep with you.
yes.
That is the premise, and they all act as each other's wing people, and they sort of take turns. So like one night it'll be like, oh, we got to get this dude for Mac. The other night they'll be like, oh, we got to get this person for Brannigan. Brannigan, is that it?
Yeah,
Brannigan.
Brannigan.
Brannigan. Okay, Brannigan and Little are brothers.
Yes. So when it starts, they are doing a actual play for Brannigan to get this lady at the bar. And see, you got to remember what the play was. But the play included all of them talking. And then he was like, it didn't work. So he calls them afterwards. Mac and Adam are walking by themselves. And as they start talking, Mac is pretty much like kind of bored with this life. And so she's trying to find, I'm trying to remember the movie too. She's trying to find somebody new, and then she does.
Well, so that's the thing. We
doesn't
never
just
actually hear that she's bored with this life until, because she runs a play on this dude.
That she works with. Okay,
his name is Nick. They run a play on him so that she can sleep with him, which I also just feel like this is my fundamental issue with not this movie specifically, but sort of this premise. It is not difficult for a woman to sleep with a man. I'm so sorry. Like, it's actually, you don't actually need to go through all these hoops. Perhaps for a man, it is more difficult to pick up a woman. But I also feel like if you're just normal, I don't know, whatever. Like, you're not looking for a relationship. The whole point is that you're looking for someone to sleep with. And I just feel like that is not that difficult. But so she runs this play on this dude, Nick, and then she realizes, oh, I kind of think I am catching feelings and I want
literally because it was looking at his pictures after they had sex in his apartment. Like there wasn't a real reason.
No. No,
she didn't
there
talk
was actually
to
no
him.
reason. She literally nothing. It wasn't like, oh my god, we have so much in common. It was just like, he was good at sex, and I think at one point she even says, like, I'm getting too old for, this sort of lifestyle, like, I want to settle down, which is fine, like, go ahead, but the reasoning was very thin. But now, that means that the players have to come up with a new play, a play they've never done before, because they've never been in the situation before. They have to figure out how to get Nick to want to be with Mac as a girlfriend and not just a hookup. Which is going to be hard because they've already hooked up.
And he's also currently dating other people because that's what he is doing. Like
he's
he's
going out on dates. Shenanigans, hijinks, all the things ensue as they go through these elaborate ruses to like have Mac run into him when she's running, but then she'll pretend like she doesn't hear him, or like, like weirdly stalk his bookstore. Like it's all kind of stalking. It's a lot of stalking, I'll say.
It's a heavy stalking and gaslighting. And then they introduce Liza Koshy, who is this great YouTube star that is actually really funny. And honestly, my favorite part of the movie. Every scene that she was in, I laughed. I thought she was so
I don't
funny.
know her. Like, I'm not familiar with her from YouTube.
Oh, really? Yeah, so she...
Like, I know a lot of people were very excited that she was in this movie, but I don't know her.
Yeah, so she became really famous on YouTube a couple of years, maybe more than a couple of years ago. And she was in a big relationship with some guy on there, too. So then they were doing that whole, like, oh, they were together, all these little funny videos. And then they broke up, and so that made it even bigger. So then she went on her own, and then actually started getting a lot of these acting gigs, and then ended up on the Nickelodeon Choice Awards as like a presenter and then as a host at one point. So yeah, she grew from YouTube, and she's really funny, and I think she has maybe a couple of comedy stand-ups maybe, but yeah, she's getting bigger. I think this is a really good stepping stone for her for more stuff, but she's good.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I thought every scene was really funny when she came in, just because she was also matching the guys' energies as much as ridiculous as they were. She was like, "Oh yeah, let's do that. That sounds great."
Yeah, she was a cute part of the movie. Oh, so eventually, no spoilers, but I think it's not a spoiler to say that Adam, Damon Wayans Jr., is in love with Mac, but he's helping her try to get this Nick dude, and then he eventually starts dating someone too, but ultimately he loves Mac, and so the question is, will he ever get to tell her? Like, what's gonna happen? That's sort of the rom-com thing. But I do feel like, because of the nature of this movie, it felt less of like a rom-com between Damon Wayans and what's her name? Gina Rodriguez, as opposed to a rom-com between Gina Rodriguez and this other dude.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because to me, it wasn't, at first I was like, oh, maybe he likes her. That's what I thought. Because he said like, oh, I have to go somewhere. And she was like, well, where you got to go or whatever. Then it was like, oh, he likes her. But it didn't really, I don't know. To me, the chemistry wasn't really there for me. But, it was a cute enough movie to be like, oh, okay, I can see where they got there.
Yeah, it was so interesting because I watched it with Richard, and we were like, we love Damon Wayans Jr. Like, we're huge Happy Endings fans, and, New Girl. I don't think I've ever seen him act this, like, subdued in anything he's ever done. Like, I was like, is he okay? And it felt weird because I feel like Damon Wayans Jr. can have, and often does have, really great chemistry with everyone he acts with, as like in a friend group or in a romance or anything. And I felt like the chemistry between him and Gina was weird. Like, it didn't feel organic, and it didn't feel romantic ever. But I do think that the chemistry of the friend group was better than their chemistry. I don't know. I did think that was like a weird part. That was a part of the movie that I wish that there was a little more something. Like, a little more like, oh, that would be so cute. Like, they're so cute. Like, instead I felt like he was acting like he was dying. Like, sir, do you have a terminal illness? What are you going to tell her?
Yeah, ultimately I thought it was weird. Well, I thought, because I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's not going to be focused. Okay, back up. I only barely saw a very small reel on Instagram about this movie. I didn't actually see the trailer, so I didn't know that was.
I thought you were about to say I didn't see the movie. I was like, what?
No, I'm sorry. I saw it with Alexis when I was in Chicago.
Oh, right.
And so she liked it, but I also think, I thought it was weird. Like, some of the things didn't make sense. Like, to me, I also thought it was weird that the brother needed so much help to try to get all these people. And I'm like, to me, he didn't seem like desirable to anybody. Like, I was like, you need to do a little bit more. And then the little brother and, I don't remember Liza's character's name, but I thought they were really cute. And I feel like they should have focused on that a little bit more.
I think I would have loved that little rom-com. Like, that would have been cute.
It would have been cute. But
her name is Ashley.
Ashley, okay. And then
also, Little was the dude from The Kissing Booth, which I was like,
is that
who he looks so familiar? Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. And then, I just felt like Gina and Damon should have had a little bit more I don't know, just something to convince me more. I don't know, it was weird. Also, when he's dating the other chick and they introduce her, it was also kind of like, give her more, because she's a great actress too. Like, I don't know. I feel like they could have let some of these storylines grow a little bit, but maybe they were trying to do it within that hour and a half.
True. We love a short movie. I think overall it was, cute enough. I'm just happy as a person who likes rom-coms, I'm always just happy when they are getting made and like, we're seeing more of them on Netflix and, Amazon Prime and stuff. So on that sort of aspect of it, I'm like, great, I'm glad it exists. I did think it was funny though that like all these people are all friends and they all, except for Little, but I don't know that Little has a job, they all work at a local newspaper where Gina Rodriguez is a small-time sports journalist. This movie is based in New York City. I don't know why I said it like that. New York. What do you mean all these people are making enough money to live off of as journalists for a small newspaper? What? That's not... What year is this?
Literally, it was 1974 because there's
like,
no
we're
way.
not. It hasn't been this way in a long time. Like, I was just like, how do you all work here? And why is no one at your office like crying because they can't afford to eat? I don't understand.
Also, I don't know what part of New York, but I don't think any of them lived in Manhattan because there's just no way. But I don't know. I'll never understand the New York lifestyle because it's way too expensive over there. It's so.
I mean, it's
so
expensive
much.
everywhere.
Yes, but New York is outrageous. I mean, people be spending all their check on rent. Nah, that's why.
I mean, yes. Yes. Let's not get into that. So, the movie.
Yeah, it was great.
It was good. It was good. I don't know if I'd say it was great. It was good.
It was great. It was good. It was good.
It was fun. And I will say Gina Rodriguez is committed to always wearing a crop top and always showing her arms.
That's right, girl. Live your life.
And I appreciate that. Either she, like, her entire wardrobe in this movie is either a crop top and sleeveless, or one or the other. Like, she's never covered her arms and her stomach at the same time. She's always showing off even, like, one, and I'm like, good for you.
Let's move on to the topic of fave moment. What did you find on Alcor's internet?
What is the topic of fave moment? What is that? What language is that?
Words were just coming out.
I was like, what does that mean? What is she saying?
I don't know.
Implying? Girl, I thought I was having a stroke. I was like,
No.
what's happening?
My bad.
Oh.
Also, shout out to the sun not setting until after 6.
Okay, we're getting into springtime almost.
Yes, ma'am.
Should I read an Am I the Asshole?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's been a long time.
Am I the asshole for yelling at my wife for firing our babysitter and making her cry because she called an ambulance? This Friday, my kids' daycare was closed for renovations, and Daisy, our babysitter, kindly offered to take them after school from 3:30 to 6 p.m. I get home from work at 6, and my wife gets home at 5:30. However, I got home early from work at 5:30. When I got home, I found my wife yelling at Daisy while Daisy was just sobbing and apologizing. Daisy is 16, by the way. I asked my wife what was going on, and all she did was start yelling that Daisy had cost us a bunch of money. My first thought was that she'd broken something, but my wife wasn't telling me what it was. She told Daisy she wouldn't be paying her for her time and to get the fuck out of our house and never come back, or she'd call the police.
Oh my God.
Daisy, that's insane. Daisy then ran out crying, and I left my wife to calm down while I comforted my kids. They were all crying in a different room while my wife yelled at Daisy. When everything had calmed down, I got the full story from my wife. So here's what happened. My mother had been looking after the kids until 3:30 while we were at work. This was Daisy's first time looking after my youngest son, though we knew we could trust her with the baby since she looked after my daughter alone when she was a baby. Something important that you should know is that my youngest son has breath-holding episodes, which occur when he gets frustrated or is in pain, and he will just hold his breath. To stop them, you just have to blow on the baby, or they will just snap out of it on their own. They're completely normal and relatively safe in babies. What?
Doesn't sound safe.
I don't think...
Holding your breath.
However, what? Babies are crazy. However, the episodes can sometimes cause passing out and blueness, and it's normal, and he usually wakes up within a few seconds.
Oh my God.
Hold on a second. Okay. To cut a long story short, my mom forgot to tell Daisy what to do if that happens. And when my son passed out, Daisy panicked and called 911.
Right.
And then my wife. My wife is now angry that Daisy called 911 for nothing and has now wasted our money on an ambulance ride. Me and my wife are now arguing because I think Daisy did the right thing, but my wife doesn't. Yesterday we got into a heated argument. We both said some hurtful stuff, and she is now staying with her mother for a few days while she thinks over her priorities in the relationship. Am I the asshole?
No. Hold on. This went from, okay.
I am...
What is normal for your family is not always normal for everybody, especially someone taking care of a child. That needs to be explicit information you share. Also, if a baby has stopped breathing, I will call the ambulance. I don't care how often this happens. What?
I know. I was going to say, I feel like, yeah, you should have told her this. Also, why? I feel like every time, I mean, I'm not a parent, obviously, but I just feel like every time this child had one of these episodes, I would be calling 911. Because What do you mean he's turning blue? Like, how can you know what is an episode and what is actual, like, that is horrifying. I hate
and
that.
Like, what if you blow in the baby's face and it doesn't knock it out? Like, so when do you where's the line?
I don't like this at all.
Wow.
Someone in the comments said, oh, hey, I forgot to mention that our baby is like one of those fainting goats.
Right. How do you just say,
I'm sorry.
Get the F out and never come back, or I'm calling the woman, the mother. Okay, let's also be here. Postpartum is not easy, but also, ma'am, what? You gonna call the cops because your babysitter called the ambulance to save your child that she thought needed saving? I've seen far too many true crimes about how terrible babysitters and parents are. Y'all need to stop, because this little girl did the best she could with the information she had. Y'all wild.
That is crazy. Y'all are
throw it away.
Like, I
throwing them all the way.
I don't even.
What do you even?
Kudos on you for, showing grace and saying, like, maybe there's some postpartum stuff going on here, because that is possible. Obviously we don't know what the wife is normally like. Is this normal behavior for your wife? Apparently you guys think it's normal for your child to just have breath holding spells.
Breath holding episodes to the point.
No, thank you.
I can't even hold my breath. I had a yawn. I'm like, this is literally me not being able to hold my breath because I don't understand how you just do that, babies. But I know that this happens, as you know. TikTok has taught me many of things. But if you don't know, I mean, even knowing this information, I still, if I see a child that is blue, I will go there.
I didn't know this happened. I had no idea that this was a thing.
Yeah, I've heard about it. And they just get like, but it's like a lot of, because babies forget to breathe. Like, it's just a real thing. They don't know how to use their body. So it's very common, but it's not common for a baby. From my understanding, it's not that common that a baby just turns blue and you just don't call the cops. It's not.
And a 16-year-old, damn, that poor child, like the 16-year-old child needs therapy, because I can't imagine thinking the baby that you're babysitting is dying, calling the cops or calling the ambulance, and then having the parent of that baby berate you to the point of tears. Like, okay. Right. And also be like, I'm not paying you, bitch, if you don't. Take her to small claims court, because this is not okay.
That's wild. Has she been babysitting your kids for years?
It's for a long time. And before that, her mother was babysitting her kids.
Nobody thought to say, hey, Daisy, when you're taking care of the baby, this might happen.
He might not breathe, but it's okay. So, I have another one.
Yeah, is it a palate cleanser?
I don't know if it's a palate cleanser. Why would it be a palate cleanser? It's on the Am I the Asshole subreddit. So, okay. Am I the asshole for not watching my kids so their father could visit his wife in the hospital? Okay. Me and my ex-husband divorced 4 years ago. We have 2 daughters together. My ex-husband remarried 1 year ago, and I knew that he and his wife were expecting because my daughters told me that they would get a sibling. Now, this Friday, it was his week with the girls. He called me and asked if I could please take them earlier. When I asked him why, he told me that he needed to be with his wife at the hospital. I said no, that is not a reason to disobey the court order, and that he could either stay with the girls, leave the girls with the babysitter, or take them with him to the hospital. I hung up before he could continue. He texted me about 2 hours after telling me that I was extremely sick in the head and that for once he was in a situation where he needed my help and I refused. His best friend, who was a mutual friend of ours until the divorce, also texted me and said he hoped I was happy with myself. I don't get how I could be an asshole, but obviously seems like he and his best friend have come to that conclusion. If I am the asshole, yes, I will apologize, but firstly, I need to know. I mean, was there a reason that you said no?
I do think you're an asshole because these are your children, and
Right.
I just your husband need to go to the hospital. Or your ex need to go to the hospital.
It was an emergency, and it's not like you were out of town or something. You just said no because it was against the court order. Ma'am, if you don't...
Yeah, that's the type. You the type of bitch that be doing some bitchy shit and then be like, am I the bitch? Like, yes, you was a whole bitch. Or you the type of bitch, the worst kind. The type of bitch who be like, I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch. I can't believe someone called me a bitch.
Well.
Do you see?
Yeah, that was... What? I don't even understand. Why would you say no?
It's not, there's no real... You said you should...
You just said no.
You should either... What did she say? You should either get the babysitter...
Stay with the girls,
get
a babysitter, or take them to the hospital.
Yeah, no.
Now, we don't know even why his wife is in the hospital. It's allegedly, probably she is pregnant or was pregnant. And either, the baby came or, there were complications with the baby. There are so many things that could happen. And I would think that if you're... I don't know, man. This doesn't feel like co-parenting. It just doesn't feel like a healthy co-parenting relationship. And it makes me sad for the children because... Clearly, to you, they're just property that you have to, shuttle back and forth, and without any care for hey, are my kids gonna think it's weird that I wouldn't take care of them when their dad needed to go to the hospital?
She said,
yeah, that is weird. That is weird.
Take them with you or get a babysitter.
Girl.
Wait, what's the last one? I think my brain can't handle it. Take care of them.
Stay with the girl. Stay with the girl. He's literally saying he can't
do that. So you say stay with them.
You can either stay with them
or take them. Stay with them or take them with you, or call a babysitter. Girl, you crazy, and not in a good way.
Funny. Okay, well, yeah, definitely assholes. I guess everyone's an asshole today.
And everybody's coming up asshole.
Let's wrap this up because I do have to go to a...
Oh, yes,
happy hour.
You do. A hair and the dog, huh?
I'm driving. I'm driving us, so I won't be doing that. What was I going to say? Oh, this is the segment of the show where we say what brought us joy and or what are we looking forward to. So take it away, Jenny.
Wonderful. Well, it's been months, so a lot of things have brought me joy, and I've bought myself joy. So I'll try to be as concise as possible. I got incredible Christmas gifts. Thank you. Thank you to you, to my friends, to my family. Well, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I got some cool stuff from people. It was dope. It was really cool stuff. And then I bought myself stuff because I have a shopping addiction. I bought myself these earrings for the folks who can see it. Hey, I love these. And
very cute. Very cute.
Some that look like pears and some that look like hearts that look like apples. It's a whole thing. It's a whole fruit situation. And I saw Googie. We went to karaoke so much. It was so fun.
Oh, right.
And we did trivia. It was so much. Oh my God, we had a great week. Then
And we saw. Sorry. This is your thing.
what?
This is your joy. But I was just gonna say, when we were here, we went to the Keith Lee restaurant.
Yes, we went to a Keith Lee. It was dope. Everything was dope. Everything has been dope. Thank God. How God is great. God is good, as Keith Lee says. And we got to experience that. That was good. And then I spoke at UCLA. That was really cool.
Yes.
And that brought me joy. And then I went to Chicago. I just came back from a dance conference in Chicago, which was really fun. I got to hang out with my friend Christina, saw my friend Alexis and her kids, and we just had a great time. And her kids said, I'm one of their top favorite people. I mean, come on. It was just so beautiful. And I may have given them some bad advice. But, either way, the kids still love me. I said, don't fight.
That's how they'll learn.
They'll learn. I said, don't fight. Just tell them that, you can have your parents talk to their parents. I don't know if that's great, but I think it was pretty good advice for the time.
I mean, that actually is good advice, but I also feel like, do they need to fight?
They don't. They don't need to fight.
Should they?
Nobody
should
should
they
fight.
learn?
Nobody should fight.
No, but
and then
I'm going to teach them.
What I'm looking forward to, a girl who never went to Mexico has been blessed to go twice in 1 year, and I'm going again this year, and I'm going to a different part of Mexico this year. I'm going to Puerto Vallarta in a couple of weeks for a wedding.
What? Oh my God!
It's so exciting. So that's what's bringing me joy. Or
that's what you're looking forward to.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Yes. So
that's so cool. We were looking at going there.
OMG!
Soon, but we haven't booked anything.
Yeah, I will let you know where we stay, and then you can see if you like it. But yeah,
oh yeah.
It was for a wedding, and yeah, it should be really fun. And I'm a resort girly, so. Nothing could.
Are you guys staying at yes. All the wedding stuff
everything is at the resort, so we get in on a Friday. All wedding activities are Saturday evening, and I think everything wraps up early enough so we could go to they have that little club in the resort that they do a silent party or something. So I just need to figure out what I'm gonna wear, because I'm the last 2 times I've been to resort, I'm not wearing anything but swimsuits and cover up. So I'm I gotta look appropriate for a wedding, and I gotta figure out not to get a tan to ruin when you put on the dress. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Really exciting. So yeah, it's gonna happen. And yeah, what about you? It's been a long time. What's brought you joy?
It brought me joy joy and a little bit of sadness. But 2 weeks ago, my most recent job ended. My writer's room is over, and that part was really sad. But just the whole experience brought me joy. Even though it was split up with 5 months of the strike, and that was terrible. I just love everyone in that writer's room, and we all just had such a good time with each other, and I miss working. I want another job, but also I miss them. I miss that job. And it's gonna be really hard because the life of a TV writer is literally you just keep moving from job to job, at least the way it is nowadays. Back in the day, you could be on one job for just years and that was it. But now it's you're basically just like a contractor going from room to room. And if I'm lucky, I will love all those rooms. But that's also bad because I fall in love with all these experiences and then have to say goodbye. Granted, we all live in Los Angeles, so it's just new people that I'm friends with, but it's not the same. It's just I miss them. But it was a great experience, and you got to come to my office when you visited. Yeah, it was really cool. Got to see things, and our beautiful view of the Hollywood sign. It was a great office. So yeah, I'm that brought me a lot of joy. Beyonce is bringing me joy, and also something I'm looking forward to. Just last night, the reason I was a little hungover today is my gal friends and I from my old job, who we all just have stayed in touch and are very close. We wanted to do something, all of us together, and we were let's do a Galentine's Day thing. Now, Valentine's Day was
February 24th.
A week ago. Over a week ago.
24th.
Yes, 14th. And Galentine's Day actually is technically the 13th, but we were like, well, the soonest we can all get together is the 24th, because that's what happens when you're trying to make plans with 6 people. But we did our Galentine's Day thing last night, and my friend who hosted it had like all these decorations and balloons, and it was so cute. And we did a secret Cupid gift exchange on Elfster, and I had wanted to do like little gift bags for everyone for Christmas, but we didn't do a holiday thing, so I was like, well, I'm going to do the gift exchange, but also I'm bringing everyone like a little something. So I gave them like little goodie bags. And then the host also had little goodie bags for all of us too, which was very cute. She gave us some lip oils and things and like a satin pillowcase. It was so cute. And yeah, it was just lovely to see them. And we had so much food. And I provided the drinks. I made a prickly pear margarita and I just realized I did not take any pictures of the drinks I made, but I did a prickly pear margarita and a strawberry mezcal margarita.
Oh, wow.
And they were very good. I chose those because we were doing pink drinks because it was Galentine's.
No, that's cute.
But that was fun.
I applaud y'all continuing Galentine's throughout the month because that's how it should be.
Yes. Why not? You know, it's just fun, you know, getting everyone's life updates and tea and just making fun of each other, and it's fun. As far as what I'm looking forward to, as I said, Beyonce, new music, definitely looking forward to that. Also looking forward to trying to do some sort of like a routine or something, because we all know I don't do well with unstructured free time. And as I mentioned, I have been out of work for 2 weeks now. In those 2 weeks, I haven't been my best.
Oh, no.
Now, granted, part of it is because literally for the first whole week, it was just raining. And, like, when it's raining in LA, like, I can't do shit. I can't do anything.
I can't imagine.
So, it's just...
While I was there, it was raining, and I was shook. I was like...
I know.
My outfits don't even look cute in the rain in LA. Ew.
They do. So it was raining, and I was like, then I was on my period, so I was like, I just need the first few weeks are kind of like a wash, and also I'm like, I need to just relax, and I've been binge watching like Love is Blind. I'm really excited that this new season's out. There's a lot of messy tea there, drama galore, but I am looking forward to not being such a garbage person moving forward, and actually trying to structure my days and like sit at my desk and do some things and put this podcast out. So if you see me on the internet, tell me to get off and go do something else.
All right. I would try to do that and not be a hypocrite. So
I know.
I will say I was very proud of me today because I said, Jenny, you have to get up and clean that office of yours.
You did?
I'm very proud of you.
Good job. Good for you.
Now, the next step in this office is to actually switch the furniture around. So I can actually bring in a desk.
Oh, are you going to work from there?
That's the plan.
Because I know you just be working from the living room.
I know, I'd just be working. Listen. So, yes, the idea is, so the couch has to be switched to the other side of the room. Mm-hmm. And then there's like a little bookcase that I need to switch to like the side. Then I'll put the desk facing the window. So it's a plan.
Okay, I'm excited for you. I love that.
Thank you. And then what are you looking forward to?
I just said that.
Oh, that's okay.
That was
it kind of flowed through because you were like, and I was like, oh, I messed up. Okay, bye. Great. We did it.
We did it. We're back, I guess. Happy 2024. Thanks for listening to Get Funny.
We hope you laughed.
But if you didn't,
we did.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye. We killed it.
Crushed it.